Since I started covering Uncharted a while ago, as I said, I wanted to know some more information about the game series going in, because I'm looking at this with fresh eyes. I haven't played any of the Uncharted games. And I did get a bit of a baseline going into this morning. In fact, I looked up a video. It was a quick one. It's like, same thing I did for The Witcher early on. Like, Uncharted in 10 minutes. I'm like, hey, that's helpful. It gave me a quick guide. I mean, ideally, be playing the games going in. I'm sure for the Uncharted fans, this is going to be much more to you. But for somebody like me, who, again, there's a lot of movies out there, and I want to be knowledgeable in something, at least as best I can, while still managing my time, and making sure that, I'm still keeping my ever necessities in my schedule. I want to make sure, that I at least had some more information going in. And it definitely, I would say, emboldens my previous judgment that this is sort of going to be like a typical video game adaptation action thriller. Essentially, we've seen this before. Notably, I made the comparison to Tomb Raider as well, which I liked that movie. Even if maybe in some capacities it was a bit conventional in terms of like a treasure hunting action type story, I thought it was still a good movie. I'm excited for the sequel. Hopefully that happens. I don't know. They said it was happening a while ago. Like, it was greenlit, if I remember right. But this is, again, I guess, the next installment in the ever-growing roster of video game adaptations. We'll see how this fares. I mean, mixed spotty track record with these movies, but you do have Tom Holland and Mark Wahlberg leading. And, I think Mark Wahlberg, people love him. Tom Holland, though, I think he's certainly built... Well, I mean, his career was already going before that, but I think Spider-Man has certainly been a great asset to him, as well as maybe his other productions coming up, including, I guess, Uncharted. He's going to be, by the way, I remember hearing that headline about he's going to be... I think he's playing Fred Astaire in like a Fred Astaire biopic. I come from a dancing background, and as I understand it, so does Tom Holland. That's going to be a lot of fun to watch. But I'm excited to see him, though, in Uncharted. Again, like I said, he's done such a good job in Spider-Man as the leading role. I'm very happy to see more of these roles from him, even if maybe the film came across to me as a bit conventional. That's kind of how I felt with this one in particular. Not as much, but with Tomb Raider, I loved the presentation. It still was an enjoyable movie. But when I watched the trailers for this one, it looks like a standard, well made in some capacities. Well, obviously the acting's fine from the performance. No disrespect to that in any way. But in terms of the overall movie and the feel of it, it came across to me as very similar to other pictures that I've seen. So I'm hoping to get a bit of a different perspective with this new trailer. But we'll go ahead and take a look, and I'll reserve judgment until we get, or go through the entire, nearly 3 minutes. This trailer's pretty long, actually, about 2.5 minutes, or a little over that. We're going to go ahead and watch the second trailer now, and we'll talk about it more in my condensed review segment, as far as watching the video together. This movie's been in development for quite a long time, though. I'm sure Sony's hoping it'll do well. Maybe they're, I would say maybe a little lighter on their feet ever since No Way Home. I mean, No Way Home has done so well at this point that you're like, okay, well, how could this movie fail? People love Tom Holland. Well, there's a lot more going into that movie, of course, but I've heard, obviously a lot of praise thrown his way. As people have thrown praise for his way for years, but especially after No Way Home. Without further ado, let's go ahead and take a look. Here we go. Let's see his next leading man installment.
Hey, kid. A little young for a bartender, aren't you?
A little old for prom, aren't you?
I like the lines. It's been a little while since I watched the first trailer. I don't remember that was in there before.
The biggest treasure that's never been found.
5 billion easy.
But it's just a story.
I beg to differ.
It's a PlayStation Productions. That's very interesting.
My family found the world's biggest fortune, then was betrayed. People have been searching for it all in vain.
Both you turn your keys clockwise at the same time. Thanks a lot. You almost got me killed.
Clockwise, Sully!
Well, it was 50-50, so I made a guess.
Clearly.
But the voyage was not just about gold.
I like the team dynamic here. That is it's a big draw with the casting. But the way they play off each other is very nice.
I'm pretty sure he's just threatening to kill me. Oh, this is gonna suck!
Good action choreography.
Don't get caught.
I mean, again, I get it, stunt doubles, but it looked good.
Somebody had to get the cross.
Well, I imagine Tom Holland's doing what he can, but still, I'm well aware. And you think you're all safe.
Your brother believed that there was a final piece.
Well, you know my brother said?
You have no idea who you partnered with.
What else aren't you telling me?
Again, there's a lot here that I'm sure for the people who have played Uncharted in the room, this is going to make a lot more sense to you than it will be for me. But, yeah, this is just fresh lines. I tried to get some information there where I could better understand it. The music's a very good fit, too, in terms of like the pilot shows. I didn't realize that going in, but yeah, it's a very good fit. Good match. Almost gives a bit like a Pirates of the Caribbean vibe.
Hey, put them down, boys.
What is that thing on your face?
Yeah, puberty's right around the corner, kid. You can grow your own.
Exclusively in movie theaters.
I love these two. Big draw for me is watching the two of them play off of one another. A lot of potential with the casting here. And good action choreography, I think. Again, the main... Maybe it's just the first couple trailers. I felt better about it after watching this one. Again, the main driving for me is the casting that differentiates this. Because in many capacities, it does seem like the traditional video game action thriller. But this is a good presentation overall. I liked what I saw from the trailer, so I'm going to go in hopefully expecting again a movie that's a bit more differentiated than I felt with my previous judgment. But again, like I said, I can't best... You know, I understand that my perception on this, again, is only so large, right? And people who have played these games have a much wider berth of knowledge to operate from than I do. But I'm just going on past record of what I've seen in terms of video game adaptations. And that's why I'm saying that there's an element here of familiarity. But I'm willing to humor the possibility that this will be a good release. Oh, I imagine it would anyway, because you're going to have very charismatic performances from both Tom Holland and Mark Wahlberg. Again, I love both of them. They're playing off each other very well. That's a main draw for me. But it looks like a good film overall. I do hope that, you know, after the long time of development this film's been through, that Sony gets a win. We'll see what happens in the future. Time will tell. This is coming out in February. What was the release date again? February 18th. Oh, like a Valentine's Day movie. I mean, maybe the couples will, you know, frolic at the theater and be like, hey, you know, it's romantic time to watch. Well, I imagine maybe, I wonder if that ever played in the film. Maybe that plays in the games in some capacity. Maybe they've mirrored that in. I don't know if it's necessarily an element of intention with this movie. Like, oh, we timed it around Valentine's Day. But, hey, for all you video game lovers... I don't know. What are your guys' thoughts of Uncharted so far? Let me know down below. For those of you who have played the games, what would you say about it? I'm very curious to hear. Maybe if you want to shoot any more knowledge my way in terms of things that I can better understand going into the film to better prepare me to... again, ideally, maybe we'll see. Maybe I'll play the games in the future. We'll see what time I have. I don't know. I'm already trying to juggle a lot. I would open myself up playing these games. We'll see with time. But for those of you, again, who have played the games, you have a better knowledge set than I do. Feel free to chime in of any information you think I should know going in down below. Don't forget all the good stuff, the like, subscribe, the sharing, and that bell. Until we get to watch more from Uncharted, perhaps in the future, as we build our way to the release date, which is coming up very soon. I will see you guys at whatever point that happens to be. But for now, thanks for watching this video. I love you guys. Don't love your fellow man. God bless. Peace.